How's it going? We're going to go over how to fake having a multi-extruder multicolor printer with a single extruder in a single color. Alright, so first things first. You need a 3D printer and you need multiple filament colors. Who would have guessed? So, basically what we need to see here is I'm going to pull up a graphic to go over what I did. So for every color that you'll be printing, you will need to create a positive and a negative space version of that model. So in that case, we have this little squiggle here, and we have room for it to go between these other portions. This does effectively mean that the limitations of this is you are pretty much stuck to a flat surface that is touching the build plate when you do this. I would recommend also having some sort of alignment tabs. Basically, these are just shapes that the bottom of them is the same as the bottom of the lowest point of the models. Alright, so now that we have all three of our meshes in Cura, the alignment squares were basically here to help us just be able to select everything and then hit center selected, and then they'll all be on top of each other perfectly. Excellent. Now, determine what layer, what color item thing you want to print first, and you'll leave that one as a normal mesh. Then you're going to go into your overlap settings, and you're going to set the two that you don't want printing this turn as cutting meshes under your modify overlap setting. All right, and then you're going to make sure supports are off, and for your build plate adhesion, you want to hit none, and to make sure that this thing is going to get adhesion, you want to make sure you have your priming blob still turned on. Gonna be super helpful. So now that we also know, we want to prepare the next layer for printing. We're going to turn the layer we just did into a cutting mesh. I'm going to take the purple one, because that's the one we're doing next. I'm going to set that as a normal mesh. Actually, we do want z-hopping. I'm going to set this to 0.6, because that is the height of this layer. Perfect. Yeah, and then we'll refuse. If these layers were going to be the same height, I could probably do some ironing. It probably wouldn't hurt. And then we'll slice. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all the layers. This is 3 layers deep. Perfect. Now, if you had different heights, you would also want to adjust the final layer to clear the height of whatever your highest layer is. Now that we have that sliced, we're going to pull up some G-code. Now that we're in a text editor, we want to search through the G-code. You can also just find it here. We want to look for G29. That is the auto leveler thing. So if you have a probe-based one especially, you're going to want to get rid of this. And it's because we have G28 after this to home everything, I would recommend designing or placing whatever you're printing so that any large layers or whatever you're printing can avoid touching the center of the bed or wherever it's going to probe when zeroing out. That way it doesn't get messed up. Anyways, once you move on to printing, remember the order that you're printing in, and remember to swap out the filament between prints and remove those little calibration alignment tabs if you can. That should hopefully work, and you should wind up with some cool stuff like this. Who knows? Yeah, we got Pop-Tarts today.